15 degrees, you can see your breath. Out here in the lake effect, breaking tables like it's poetry. Where else would you rather be? Pinto, Ron, Elvis, and the lay poncho. The members that you need to know. 'Cause once you out here, now your family. Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be?
Welcome into the Nickel City Crew. I am your host, Rob Crippen. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nickel City Crew. This episode, along with all of our episodes, are presented by Crippen Legacy Entertainment here on Spreaker and StreamYard. We're so glad that you're joining us for some of your Buffalo Bills and NFL content again today. And as always, these are my Bills thoughts said out loud.
It's a vibe so ridiculous. Since 12 plus 83 was 6. The shout rocking like a symphony. Where else would you rather be?
All right, let's get straight to it. Really excited for tonight's episode. We are back at you on a TGIF Friday, right before the Christmas holiday. I mean, it's Christmas is in the air. I know the kids are excited, and I know my co-host is excited as well. Listen, this is a big weekend. We'll get into it. I know the people are going to try to downplay it a little bit, but we'll get into why it could be big down the road for our Buffalo Bills. Joining me tonight, as always, riding shotgun, my co-host, Adam Dump Truck Rupsick. Check him out on Instagram and Twitter at Adam Rupsick, RUPCZYK. Holla at the crew. DT, I see you with your Christmas lights on. I see you, Clark Griswold. What's good, DT?
Hey, Nickel City, what's up? What's up, Nickel City? What's up, Rob? Happy Friday night to you. Week 15 of the NFL among us, and here we go, baby. You are right. The season on the line, the Christmas season as well happening, festive, snow, everything you can think of, and some meaningful ball down the stretch. It's what we love. It's what we are in June and July and May and April talking about, these type of games, and here we are, week 15, 9-4, ready to rock and roll. Big divisional game coming up, but yeah, Christmas season, the snow's out, Rob. I'm jolly AF right now. Jolly AF.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not a huge Christmas person, but I mean, when you've got 4 kids, then you just can't escape it. So I try to be the Grinch as much as I can, but it's really I have nowhere to hide. So everybody's really excited down here in Charlotte as well. Well, DT, before we get into why I named the episode the way that I did, I wanted to quickly recap last week and kind of put a bow on it. DT, our Bills, if you didn't know, I don't know what rock you've been under. They come back from behind, beat the Cincinnati Bengals at the Ralph 39-34 in an epic game, to be honest. And DT, I came away from that game just feeling like a sense of just gratefulness. Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL. And if you don't know, I don't know how you don't know, because he, again, performed like that last week where he just put on the cape, went into the phone booth, and it was a situation where, I mean, this guy is just, he is so special. We are so lucky to have him. I thought of you when I was watching the game, because that one pass to Shakir, I was like, nothing was even open on that one play. And I don't know, man. I just left that game with just some sense of, I'm just so happy that he's our quarterback. 1-7, we've always got a shot with him, and we'll get into the defense and how they played a role as well. But DT, that game, man, that was something else. He's the best quarterback in the NFL right now, and I'm so lucky that we have him.
It makes you think, right, Rob? What a great thing to watch. And I mean, the last couple games in the Ralph, I wasn't attending, but I know, a lot of people were and trying to get their last, whack at it. And what a couple games. I mean, the one before that was the Buccaneers game where he scored 6 touchdowns, and then he comes back and takes down the Cincinnati Bengals with help from the D. We gotta give credit to them, but what a game from him when he needed to do it. He did it the most. And, we thought we were trading field goals for touchdowns early on. He came back, got us that big touchdown, to Shakir, probably a top 5 throw in his career, something that will go on the highlight reel for forever with him. And things that, like, I'm never like used to it or taken for granted or anything like that. But at that point in the game and kind of against the wall and we're on the ropes and we need to win and all that mentality is like in your head. And then he makes a throw like that. All right, you're like, all right, 6 touchdown, let's roll. But then you like watch the replay and be like, whoa, wait. Like this is not normal. This isn't what all their other teams get to look at. This isn't what things are. So cherish this. Oh wait, LeBron, witness this, folks, because it doesn't matter if it's the last couple of years in the Ralph or whatever. We're here to win ball games, and he's the ringleader in that. So I agree 100%. It makes you think. What I started my point was, Rob, like if we didn't have this cat, like are we getting beat by 60 points every week? Like, I mean, this is like so on his back to come down from 10 points with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And, like, what if we didn't have this guy, right? So be grateful. Witness Bills Mafia, Nickel City Crew. I think it's only going to get better. Now we're starting to get closer to the playoffs, and you see the people coming out of the woodwork of Josh Allen being one of the best playoff quarterbacks of all time statistically, and Mike Greenberg, I know, came out with that. We played this sound on our show, in the offseason about truly how true that is on his statistics and how good of a quarterback he is in the postseason. So he's just ramping up to go into hang it mode, baby. I'm not calling it God mode or Superman mode. I'm calling it hang it mode. So we're that's what he's getting teed up to do, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, man, it was amazing to watch, and that throw in particular, and then just the touchdown run, like you said, down 10, you needed it, and he gives it to you, and then the Christian Benford play obviously, swings the game and changes the momentum, and it was one of those things where I look at the way that he is able to rally the troops, and he's able to just, he does whatever you need. And I think that is the sign of an all-time great, is where whatever you need me to do, I'm going to do it, whether it be to run the ball, whether it's going to be to make an improbable throw. He's just got the grittiness. He's got the moxie. He's got all of the different intangibles that you want. And I'm really, like I said, I'm just grateful that he's my quarterback, because of the fact that I don't even want to imagine where we would be without him, because at this point in time, he is, he's kind of the engine that makes this whole thing go. Now, shout out to the defense. Benford, 63-yard interception return. That play, DT, coming off the previous week where he made a big time play on the fumble recovery in Pittsburgh. I mean, this guy, hopefully he plays on Sunday as long as he's healthy. Keep him out if he's not. But if he's healthy, Benford has been stepping it up. I know that he was a little bit, shaky to start the year, and maybe that was because of an offseason, injury, but he's starting to ramp it up. I heard that he gave up like no yards a couple weeks ago, and then he was locking up Chase. Benford is starting to come into that role of the cornerback one, following their best receiver, doing that whole shadow thing. That's one of the things that you look for when you pay a guy, top dollar. And he's obviously on a nice deal, but he got a raise. You want to see him trail the number one opposing wide receiver, and he's doing that now. And he's in a situation where he's stepping up right at the right time. This is the time that you need to be playing your best football.
Bargain deal for a cornerback one, a late round pick. We get him, pay him good, making progress and making plays for us every week. I mean, the shadowing of the number one wide receiver, that's something I guess I knew, right? But then kind of noticing it over the past couple of weeks of him actually moving around with DK Metcalf 2 weeks ago, having a scoop and score, him running with Jamar Chase and a sick, like that wasn't like a blitz or anything on that. He just made the read and, jumped up and a beautiful pick to take it back while he's guarding Jamar Chase in the slot. Came off, had a great sack on Joe Burrow earlier in the game. He's a great blitzer when they send him. He can cover. He's got your top guy, and he's got more touchdowns than Dawson Knox. So I think, overall, it was a great investment. He's a gamer, but the health has been an issue throughout his career. Walking boot, but a short walking boot, like a trainer walking boot, right? Not a high top. It's a Jordan 1 low.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not a Jordan 1 high, Rob. It's a Jordan 1 low. So I think we're good. But he didn't practice today and kind of limping around.
No.
Would be a big loss on a game we probably need all hands on deck. And, the Patriots have weapons kind of everywhere. They're going to want Stephon Diggs to try to eat against his old team. And, these other guys, Butte and what's their rookie, Douglas? Or what's his name?
No. No, not Polk. Kyle Williams. Mm-hmm.
Kyle Williams, making deep ball threats, and I'm not necessarily he's going to be on the deep ball thing, but I don't need Stephon Diggs to have another, 120 yards and get hype on us again. And he probably wouldn't be seeing him anyway because that's more slot and he'll be out on the boundary. But need him healthy for this team to be successful. Just as 17 on the offensive end, he's our playmaker on the defensive end, and he's earned his money this year for sure. Anything we've asked him to do, blitz coverage, and just general playmaking ability, as that slot interception was sick. It's going to go down as one of the memorable moments in the stadium. So good for him for that, and that's one that will definitely be up on some posters with the snow and all that.
Yeah, man, it was an awesome pick. He came on the cornerback blitz again. That's the second straight week. He picks up a sack. He's just doing it all right now. So kudos to Christian Benford. Obviously, a great story. And as like I said, he's peaking at the right time. This is when you want to be playing your best ball. Now, DT, it's funny because when you look at the game and before we transition, but the Bills, it kind of looked bleak there for a minute. I know I was texted you earlier in the game. I'm like, this is kind of looking like that playoff game, and the snow and we're they drive right down and score. And I wasn't too confident when you go down 10 in that fourth quarter. It looked like it could get real shitty in a minute. And like I said, Josh Allen saved us with that big touchdown run and then the run to end the game. DT, when you look at it, this could have gone another way for sure. And I know that the defense is much maligned and things like that, but they kind of bowed up when they needed to, obviously with Benford helping out, but this could have gone another way real quick because without Joey Bosa out there, there was no pass rush. I've heard a lot of chatter about Greg Rousseau and stuff like that. I think everybody needs to just make sure that you remember that he was never a sack artist. So even when they re-signed him, that's why he's being paid what he's being paid. He's not paid at the top tier because I don't think the Bills are expecting, game-changing plays from him. And he's not really giving you any as well. So he's kind of slow and steady. I don't know, man. Without Bosa, there was no pass rush. This game was kind of looking like it could have been a bad situation pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow gets the ball out fast, whatever, but it was non-existent. The only pass rush was when we sent secondary help, and with that, it got him off his mojo and forced him into a few mistakes, and probably threw a few balls a little quicker than he should have, and 2 big turnovers. We take advantage. Game's ours right out of the gate because of that, but we're going to need pressure down the line. If we want any chance deep in the playoffs, and definitely a Lombardi. We see it every year of how good a defensive pressure can take out a quarterback in the Super Bowl and what that would mean. And we got to start seeing it. Joey Bosa has given us the only light of that this year. I'm not, expecting Rousseau to go out there and, have 3 sacks a game, but it'd be nice to see him make a few plays, right? And as well as AJ Epineza has been one to get home and make plays. And he did have the pick Sunday, but, to be kind of all over that. So a big upfront defensive line with Deion Walker in there now and DaQuan Jones, the veteran, and who knows if we'll get Oliver back. But I would rather, if teams still run on us, whatever. Like, I need to get pressure on the quarterback, and that needs to be the emphasis. So I agree. I would sacrifice pretty much everything else to get pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be a necessity down the stretch. And obviously, we got news today that Spencer Brown will be back. They say Bosa's going to play on Sunday. So fingers crossed that he can stay healthy and that he doesn't re-injure himself or anything like that and have it prolonged. But we'll see how things go. Now, as we begin to transition, DT, I named the episode the way that I did because I've heard a lot of chatter this week about the importance of the game. You listen to GR and stuff like that. They're talking about the importance and it, does it really matter because of the fact that if we still lose, we lose the division, but everything's still in front of us for the wild card. Here's why I named the episode the way that I did, DT. I think that this game is sneaky important because of the psyche, because of what it does mentally for the team ahead of the playoffs. That's regardless if the Patriots go ahead and win this division. Sean McDermott's never been swept as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills since he's been here during his tenure. He's never been swept by another AFC East opponent. I think that it's going to be important to get this win because of the fact that, you've got a Patriots team that came up in our rearview mirrors way quicker than we thought. We didn't think that they were going to be applying this kind of pressure so quickly, year 2 of Drake May. And then in addition to how fast they've come, they've now surpassed us. And now they're running the division and they're, getting ready to have a hat and T-shirt game. And I get all that. I want to see the Bills come out with that fight to let them know that, listen, you might go ahead and still win the division. You might get that this particular year. We still might have to see you in the playoffs. We still are the top dogs. We still are running things in the AFC, especially in the AFC East, regardless if you get your hats and your T-shirts that night. and hopefully not that night, but hopefully we can prolong it. DT, I think this game is very important for the psyche of the Buffalo Bills because we have never had this kind of challenge. I know 2 years ago we climbed back from 6-6, but the Dolphins are just the Dolphins. Like, we own them. We have owned them. And I never even, I mean, that year was a little bit weird, but we came back and chased them down. I don't know if we chase them down for the division when it comes to the Patriots this year, DT, but I think that Sunday matters. I really do think that it matters for the psyche of the team.
Yeah. That's a good point, Rob. You know, that's something I really haven't thought about a lot. I've been thinking so focused on that record and the 1 seed still or the division still and all the scenarios on the New York Times playoff machine or the ESPN playoff machine. I'm tinkering all around, you know, really kind of obsessed with that, like how the seedings work. And then if we get in, what's their best route? And that's a great point. The division of, you know, we can't just nonchalantly let this team come in here and take us off the throne. And yes, great, be competitive, be something, you know, we're gonna have to deal with every year. We're in a historically horrible division. You know, that's why the Patriots, granted, they did win those rings and get on those Super Bowls for all those years in the dynasty, but the 3 other teams in that division were straight booty cheeks consistently, and still half of them are. So we need to realize we're probably in the worst division in football when it comes to that. But overall, yeah, we are the kings of it. So if you want to come through and have your turn, it's competitive. That's going to happen, especially with somebody like Drake May. I think they're going to be our nemesis, you know, the whole time. But as long as we have 17, we have proven this is our division. So I like that. The psyche is crucial. I think that is big. Like, we can still be the big dogs, and that has a lot of weight to it. Like, winning this game against the Patriots, where it's kind of, you know, all this clout right back to them, granted, because they do have the brand of their 6 Super Bowls, so you got to give them credit for that. But how it just shifted back just because they've won 10 straight games and they're 11-2, and a good squad, good roster defensively. They invested, they got Vrabel, like, everything's coming together, and now the wings are following. But we still have to be the kings, and I like that. And beating somebody with everything kind of vaulted together and pushed at you so much this year that we just dominated this division for the last 6 years. And then this team that got put together last year, and Vrabel comes in, like, they're going to come back and beat us, like, and be the new kings just like that. I don't think so. So I like that. The psyche, a win Sunday lets them know we still are the big dogs in this division. Come on, be competitive. We like that. We don't want to get sloppy. We want to have a good sparring partner. But, you know, we're gonna go fight the pay-per-view, and you're gonna watch it from your fucking living room. So that's what we got to get to. And I like that psyche. Winning this game, definitely. I think Josh Allen, there's no issue there. He knows he's better than Drake May, and he is the king in the division. But this can do a lot for the psyche of the rest of the team to know, like, we've been the dogs. Yes, credit for you coming in here and being cool, but it's still our house.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that was one of the things that I was, like I said, they came up on us fast, and I could admit that, and I didn't expect this kind of, rise from them. They're playing a 4th place schedule. I understand that they can't pick their opponents and stuff like that, and the NFL does it for parity, different things like that. But, it's a situation where I was a little bit shook after that Week 5 game, and then to see Stephon Diggs come back in our house, take over, 140 yards, and he's kind of just running shit. It was a piece of humble pie that I didn't feel like eating, but I had to accept it. I don't want to see that again. I don't want to see a situation where we go to their place and then we're not competitive, or they win a squeaker. It doesn't really matter how we lose. I want to win this game bad because they're the damn Patriots, and I can't stand the Patriots. And it's just like that with all the teams in the division, but to a lesser degree with the Jets and the Dolphins, because we own them. The Patriots I've just got that PTSD from Brady years, that entire run of that 20 years where they're just dominating us and kind of, curb stomping us. I want to see the Bills come out and be competitive and win this game on Sunday and find a way to put them back in their place. Listen, I get that they're here. I get that they're probably going to get their hats and their T-shirts eventually down the road, but let's make it interesting. Let's make them sweat a little bit and really pressure bust pipes. You win this game. I understand that the Ravens game doesn't matter, but if they drop one to the Dolphins or the Jets, then all of a sudden, things could get hairy when it comes to tiebreakers. So I've already given up the division. I don't really care about it in that respect. I mean, I care about it, but that's just the defense mechanism. But yeah. I'll let them get their hats and t-shirts. I don't want to lose on Sunday in their house after they beat us in our house. I want to kind of shut them up a little bit. And they've been insufferable on Twitter, talking shit about May, saying he's better than Josh and all this other stuff. And you heard Drake May in the presser this week. He says Josh is the best quarterback in the league. So they know who the big dog is. Just go into Foxborough and handle business. Find a way to shut them up a little bit and at least delay this whole hat and t-shirt thing.
Yeah, I agree. And a win Sunday means more, I think, than a divisional title, because it is a statement thing. But breaking news, we have to interrupt the show, Rob. A big one. QB1, and that might be a little different. Why we've seen a little difference this year. We're saying he's the best. Nick,
having a baby?
Our boy Nick at Queen City Vintage just texted me and said, big news.
He's having a baby?
And Haley enlisted Nick and the crew to be the ones who just posted this.
What's that?
Yes, QB1, Haley Steinfeld.
They're having a baby? They're having a baby?
Having a baby.
I knew it.
Queen City Vintage breaks it.
Look at that. Right here
Queen
on
City
Nickel City
Vintage.
Crew. Right here on Nickel City
right
Crew.
Here. Adam Schefter.
I love it. Look at that. Well, congratulations to the Allens. Hey, kids are great. I've got a bunch of them, so they bring a lot of joy, and hopefully this would bring him another sense of purpose, another sense of motivation for not only his career but his personal life. So, congratulations to the Allens, man. I mean, hey, listen,
we gotta clone this. We gotta clone this kid. Make 100, make 1,000.
I love it. Congratulations to the Allens for sure. Look at that breaking news. I think that's our first news break on Nickel City Crew. So shout out to Queen City Vintage. Listen, speaking of Queen City Vintage, tonight's episode is presented by them. Listen, check them out. Our buddy Nick and Kai, they are running a great storefront, Queen City Vintage right there on Elmwood across from 40 Thieves. Check them out. They've got all the drip. They've got all the nostalgic Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Sabres, Buffalo City themed t-shirts and jackets and hats, all the stuff that you need to get geared up for this playoff run. Christmas is around the corner. Check them out. You can get some nice stocking stuffers, some nice cool gifts that people are going to really enjoy. So listen, check them out. Queen City Vintage, a proud sponsor of Nickel City Crew. DT, as we transition, let's map this out and let's map out a way to get this win. The first game, I think that it is safe to say that turnovers played a big role in it. And I know that turnovers have kind of been a hot topic this season because of the fact that, what did we warn you about, Nickel City Crew? We told you all season, don't bank on turnovers, don't bank on getting them, and definitely do not bank on not giving the ball away at the historically low rate that they did last year. 8 turnovers. We're already surpassed. I think we're more than double now. But one thing that has been interesting about the turnovers is that a lot of them have come in road games. And for whatever reason, I don't know. A lot of it is luck sometimes. But in that first game, we gave New England a lot of their opportunities. It still was a close game, 23-20. They had to have a late field goal to beat us. DT, keep the ball. Josh said it this week. If we don't turn over the ball, he thinks that we're a pretty good offense. James Cook, fumble last week. Listen, I need my boy Jimbo. I love him. I need him to get that shit under control because I was hot. I was hotter than the rattlesnake on Sunday when I saw that ball pop out on the goal line. Find a way to limit turnovers. Find a way to limit turnovers because, listen, you keep them in the game with turnovers. And that's a reason why listen, they've got Milton Williams. He's out. Their run game has been shitty ever since he's been out. I know that the Bills are probably going to implore some type of run game approach, but take care of the ball regardless, whether it be Jimbo or Josh. Find a way to keep the ball away from them and make them earn everything because you don't want to get in a situation like you did week 5 where you're giving them help. They don't need any help clearly with their record, but don't give them any freebies on Sunday.
I think one of them was on the 9-yard line, right? And then another one was we were in the red zone. So high scoring chances from both, from both sides of it, right? So we turn the ball over when we're about to score. We give them the ball with only 10 yards to score. I think we did hold them to a field goal there, but still, it's they'll lose the game by 3 points anyway, right? So it's non-negotiable, can't happen. This team of that's why McDermott and the preaching and the trust the process. The process is discipline, like penalties, turnovers, like we don't do it. can't bank on him defensively to get him. You can, it's part of the MO a little when it's as consistent, but it hasn't been
Sure,
this year for us on
sure.
takeaways. Last year it was a little bit of the MO. It's just part of what they did. They were training for it. They were punching right. And this year it hasn't been as much, but they've come and made some big turnovers in some crucial times. Obviously, as we saw Sunday, that sealed us the victory. But giving the ball away is something we can control. And I agree. We need to get back to the process and everything of this hard ass of McDermott preaches, the things that we can critique. We can also say, like, okay, now we need to get back to that. Be more disciplined, not jumping off sides when the game's on the line, not having 11 penalties and killing yourself and not turning the ball over 3 times. So it starts with 17 and works on from there. Obviously, 4, that was his MO, literally his first game, his first touch ever against the LA Rams. He fumbled in that Thursday night game. He fumbled the first play of the game against the Denver Broncos when it was that bullshit game with the 12 men on the field and, the Monday nighter. And, then a crucial one last week, won the game, 2 crucial ones here. Like, way too many times to put the ball on the ground. And the second one wasn't even like he was extending. It just, he didn't have it secured. So
It was like
that's got to be a point of emphasis.
It seemed like with his knee or something like that.
He's capable because he did have, the problem early in his career. Then he kind of hunkered down and was very good with it for a few years.
It hasn't been an issue recently. No,
past couple of games, it's kind of peeking its head out. So it might just be the price you pay for somebody as elusive. Well, he's a fumble problem, but it can't be every week. So I think obviously that's a point of emphasis. He takes it seriously. We're going to cut down on those. But 17 doesn't need to be throwing asshole picks either. And he's done that a few times this year that, just not necessary and trying to force it. Like, I think now, though, he's late enough in the season. He wasn't taking those runs and scrambles earlier in the year. Yeah. Now he's busting them off instead of throwing the pick, right? So it starts with him, then goes right to 4, but we can control that side. Back to trust the process, penalties and turnovers that we can control. We can bank on getting a few, but we have to control the front end of those.
Yeah, no, I don't want to give them any more extra possessions or anything like that. They really can crush your hopes in a game and put the team, your opponent, in an advantageous situation. So we'll be watching that for sure. I have trust in Jimbo. He has been good with it. You are right about that, DT. He did, he cut him down for some years, but they have kind of reared their ugly head recently. So we'll see how he takes care of ball control on Sunday. Now, DT, it'll be interesting because what did they say? Spencer Brown will be back. So that's a good sign. They say Bosa will be back. I'm interested in the Bosa thing because I don't want to. I almost wanted to give him another week because of the fact that, what did we say all offseason? Just get him to the playoffs. Just get him to the playoffs. Well, now we're right around the corner from the playoffs, and he has an injury. Now, what was it? Was it a calf or what was it? Hamstring?
Hamstring. Yeah. Well, his wrist. He's been battling his wrist.
Right, but that's not why he missed.
But his hamstring. Yep.
Yeah, okay, hamstring. So sometimes those things are weird and you want to nurse him, but I understand if he's healthy. Listen, I trust the medical staff. They wouldn't put him back on the field if he couldn't play. So obviously if they announced today McDermott did that he can play, then obviously they feel that he's good enough to go and not hurt himself again. On that side of the ball, DT, I don't really know how I'm supposed to feel about the defense. I know that I lowered my expectations because of some of the injuries and different things like that they've been going through. I know that we talked about it, and we can't stand that McDermott is always given that pass when it comes the end of the season. But sometimes, excuses are not always excuses. Sometimes it's just a reason. And they are playing with a lot of guys that are out. Looks like Bernard will be out again. He didn't practice today, so I don't know what's going on with him. But secretly, Shaq Thompson has been taking over his spot and playing very well. So I would like to see Shaq Thompson stay in that role anyway, regardless if Bernard was healthy or not. DT, what do you see from that side of the ball as we come into this matchup? We come down the stretch. I know that this is one of the worst. This has got to be the worst McDermott defense during his tenure, but
sure,
I think if we could find a way to make timely stops in the postseason, I think that we'll be okay. Much like, last week with Bernard, the week before with Bernard again, Benford with against Pittsburgh. If we could find a way to get timely stops, I think that might be just enough. You might be in a game that's got 11 possessions. If you can force a couple punts and a turnover, well, then all of a sudden, they're down to 8 possessions or they're down to 7 possessions, whatever the case may be. Find a way to force some turnovers and find a way to stop. Get them off the field. They were atrocious on Sunday, DT, on third down. Joe Burrow was doing whatever the fuck he wanted to do. They were, I think it was like 9 of 11 on third down. That is not going to cut it in the playoffs. It's not going to probably cut it on Sunday against a guy like Drake May. find a way to get some stops, get these guys off the field. I know that you don't have all of your guys, but find a way to get these guys off the field. Come hell or high water, you can't let a team just possess the ball, drive up and down the field on you, whether it's death by 1,000 cuts or big plays. You're not gonna be long in the playoffs if you're given long drives or explosive plays.
Third downs are the death of this, especially Sunday, every playoff game, every getting one stop and we can't get it and can't get off the field on third down.
Wild.
And but overall, I think this defense is coming around a little bit from when it was beginning of the year, real Swiss cheese. Like, all right, we're going to have to literally score 50 a game, because this defense is like Bengals bad or Cowboys bad, right? And that was the talk earlier in the year. We've kind of tightened up, gotten to that. If the talent isn't there, we have tightened up into that bend, don't break mentality, of what McDermott preaches, and that has showed its head a little more over the past couple of weeks. So I have confidence. I think we're getting in there. The team has caught up with the scheme a little bit and made up for the lack of talent, and maybe the lack of talent has been here for the last, 8 seasons they've been around. They've had better players. Right. Don't get me wrong. I get your point where it might be the worst, but that lack of talent it makes up for with this scheme, and so that's why Trey White can still be out on the field. And when you see him in one-on-one situations, he's getting cooked. But when he's in his situation and in his role and in his zone, he's a good play. He's a good player on the defense when called upon. So it is getting back. It is tightening up. But I go back to that pass rush point, Rob. Like, we need to get to the quarterback, especially somebody like Drake May, who, if he's just chilling in the pocket and he can get throwing dimes and throwing those deep balls up there and get comfortable, like, that's what can beat you, right? So getting in his head and making him eat it a little as a young quarterback, that can rattle him, very quick. We saw, as we even have Superman or hang mode on our team, like he got like a little spazzy in the beginning of his career when he was getting touched a little too much and was doing wild shit, right? So getting to the quarterback is key. Easier said than done. We're getting our best pass rusher back to do that, and maybe that kind of opens things up for some other guys to make plays as well when it comes to that. But I do have some confidence that this defense is looking a little better. Those third downs unacceptable last Sunday, I agree, but you don't have to go up against Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins every week either. So give them a little credit. So. They are tightening up. They are looking a little better, and I think that McDermott has been good his whole tenure because he hasn't had the talent, but makes defenses, make stops. Not in the playoffs, but we're not in the playoffs, at 1:00 on Sunday, right? So I think it's getting better. Pass rush has still got to get there, but I think that's the easiest answer to kind of rattle Drake May, a young quarterback, is get to him and touch him.
Yeah, I mean, it's been getting a little bit better. Before last week, I couldn't say that they had lost you any games, since week 1. You know what I mean? I couldn't say that about the defense. I don't think that they had lost the Bills a game. In that respect, I mean, Miami just didn't show up, so that's an entire team collective on that one.
So, but if you had that choice coin flip beginning of the year, hey, the defense is going to kind of be suspect, but they're never going to lose you a game. You got Josh Allen on the other side of the ball, but I'll take it.
I'll sign up for it. I'll sign up. The problem the thing that worried me, like I said, I thought we were going to lose last week. I did, especially when we were down 10. I thought that we were going to lose that game, and then I think that the thing that worried me the most, along with the third down last week, was that it is that pass rush, and and Greg Rousseau. I mean, he's catching a lot of shit on Twitter, and I understand it. I think that my expectations for him were different. And I never expected him to be a game wrecker. He's not Myles Garrett Jr. or anything like that. So I never expected that from him. But I thought that it was stark when you just let Joe Burrow sit back there. And you're right. He's got great weapons. But, May's got weapons and stuff like that. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is going to light the Bills up. But he threw for 300-something yards, last week. And then you've got Jalen Hurts, who's, his offense looks like they're tattered right now. And then the Jets to end the year. I just want to see them get into form and find a way to get a pass rush. Because regardless of the talent or what might be on the defensive line, you've got to generate some push. Now, I know Ed Oliver is a big part of that, and I get it, and I miss him for sure. And hopefully, fingers crossed that he's back for the playoffs. But I think that that's what worried me and concerned me most after watching that game last week, DT, was that Burrow had all day. He did whatever he wanted to. We didn't sniff him. And I think that if you get into that kind of mode where the quarterback is just comfortable as fuck, I think that I don't know, man. It just doesn't make me feel good. And I don't know if Joey can can cover that. You know what I mean? We always talk about how Josh, he's the deodorant. He covers up a lot of the errors on the team and players and yada, yada, yada. I don't know if Joey Bosa is that player anymore where he can just cover up for everything. We'll see on Sunday if he can have an impact, but I do need some other guys to step up. I do need AJ Epinesa to help out.
Be more creative then. It doesn't have to just be defensive line for the pass rush. We're sending corner blitzes. We have some new looks with our linebackers. We have different linebacker personnel in there. We've been doing kind of a one corner blitz every game. Do it because it's in the game plan now. Okay, they're sending a Christian Benford or somebody on a corner blitz. Send that blitz. Then do it again. We've only been doing it once a game, and it's been working. So that's the game plan. They're going to be ready for it. Fine. They're not going to be ready for the second or third time. So maybe it's getting more creative with other than the defensive line to help your pass rush as well.
Okay, I can take that point. Okay, I can take that point. Now, as we begin to wrap up and transition, tonight's episode is also presented by Al's Bar and Grill. We've got some stuff set up with them. Cannot wait to start doing some live shows. I want to get in there before the playoffs start, so I'm working on that. Nickel City crew. Check out Al's Bar and Grill if you're down here in Charlotte where I am. They are right here in Cornelius, Huntersville, Lake Norman area, right on the lake. Check them out. Listen, they've got the wings that DT loved. He raved about them when he got down here. The Buffalo Garlic Prime. We just had them last night. The boys and I were there. My Kings and I were there last night for Wing Night, Dollar Wing Night. Check them out. Listen, they throw the Bills games every week. It's a great atmosphere. You can go and check them out. Check out Al's Bar and Grill right here on Catawba in Cornelius, Lake Norman. DT, before we get to the tailgate report, I wanted to know, okay, not doomsday scenario, but let's say it turns out to be a hat and t-shirt game. How do I pick myself up Sunday afternoon going into the evening and feel better about it if they do get the division and beat us? Because if that's the case, then I want to position myself for the highest possible seed. I want to play that, hopefully that AFC North 4 seed. It could be Pittsburgh, maybe possibly the Ravens. We'll see. You know what I mean? What are you just in the headspace we're just not going to lose on Sunday? And I know how you can get some time on that type of stuff, but I mean,
I am in that headspace. I am in that headspace for sure. I'm very confident Sunday. I think the Psyche thing is big, and I love that. But I would also say, like, the probability of us winning the division is extremely low anyway, and everyone knows that. And I think everyone has at least accepted some sort of that, and knowing that we're going to probably be on the road to start the playoffs. So a loss Sunday doesn't change that really at all. That is the straight, other than the Psyche piece or whatever. But then all right, let's see us a third time in the playoffs, and then I don't think you beat Josh Allen 3 times in 1 year, like for hell no, right? So it's. I don't think it changes much. I am confident we go in there and take care of business, but I don't think it changes much. I think everyone's kind of on board with us going on the road for the playoffs. Like, that's just kind of what it looks like. Probability, Vegas, everywhere would say that. So I don't think a loss changes that. That just solidifies it.
Yeah, no, I think that the division is theirs. I think that even if with a win, I don't see them losing to the Jets. They could possibly lose to Miami, who's been playing better. Miami has kind of gotten a little bit of a pulse as of late, but who knows how they go into that matchup against Drake May and those guys. So I've kind of conceded the division. I've kind of let them have it in that respect, but I would love to see, again, us find a way to beat these guys on Sunday, because I just can't stand the fucking Patriots. I cannot stand them. They're arrogant fans. They're spoiled fans. I can't stand it. That Tom Brady run was just ridiculous. I can't stand it. So because of that, personally for me, I just don't want to see us lose to that game, but I have to be a realist. If it happens, I think that you're absolutely right. Nothing really changes too much. You'll have 5 losses. You still will be in a good position to get that 5 seed. And I think that's the money seed, especially if we want to have another reunion at the Ralph for a playoff game. If you get some upsets in the lower seeds, beating the higher seeds, that's the best way to go about it. Is if you're the 5 seed, then you got a chance to host a playoff game. So we'll see how it goes. I'm confident, DT. I think that I just think that this is all just too soon. I really do. And I think that the 4th place schedule is helping. And I know a lot of people sometimes don't like that excuse or that reasoning, but I mean, they have played the 32nd schedule in the league. Like, it's like there's just no way around it. No, they can't make their schedule, but they were benefiting from the fact that they finished fourth last year. So they playing all of the garbage teams in those cross-divisional matchups while we're playing the number 1 seeds in all of those cross-divisional matchups.
Granted, we got losses this year to the Dolphins. We have losses this year to the Falcons.
I understand they didn't slip up.
Yes.
They haven't slipped up.
Yep.
They have earned their record. They haven't slipped up. If you don't slip up to the Dolphins and the Falcons, then you're right there neck and neck, and we wouldn't be having this conversation to be a lot different. So I get that. I guess I just don't respect them. How about it? I said it. I don't respect. Fuck the Pats. I don't respect them in their fourth place schedule. I think this was all a year early. And yes, May is a good quarterback. I mean, I know him pretty well, from a distance down here in Charlotte, because he went to school down here. I get it. I just think that they're a year early. And Milton Williams is out. Their run defense went from top of the league to now they're down in the basement. I just don't respect them, DT. I really don't. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I think it is. They can't get that confidence yet. They had it for so long, and they were silent, and now they're on the radio waves again, and they're talking like this is the biggest game in Patriots fans' regular season generation, even through the dynasty. This is the biggest game. Like, I like that there's this much focus. They hate losing so much that like finally we think we're back and we're gonna take care of Josh Allen. Like, that's not how easy it works. That's not how it works. We keep running into these teams in our whole lives, like playing all these quarterbacks you can never beat. Like, Josh Allen has to be that guy to them, and I hope it is, because screw these fans, screw them. I don't respect them. Stephon Diggs leaves the Bills, and would have been nice to have on this team, but he has his second half default and all the bad things, in the second half of the season we saw as a Bill, we're seeing it as the Patriots too. So yeah, gotta be not to write them off in disrespect, because they did that with the Miami Dolphins this year and got their ass kicked for no reason, in that. But so why. Not like that, but not respect enough to like, I'm not respecting you to respect myself. We're still the Kings. We're still the Kings. Like, me respecting you disrespects myself.
I get it, but I just think, I that's a good way to put it. I just think that they are a year early, and I think that they're feasting on a weak schedule. And you're absolutely right; they did not have any slip ups, so they have earned their record. I just think it's just a little bit too early, and maybe that's a defense mechanism. I don't know. We'll chalk it up to that. Now, so you've got a Bills win on Sunday. I've got a Bills win on Sunday. We'll see how it goes. Now, as we wrap up tonight, the Nickel City Crew Tailgate Report, again presented by Queen City Vintage. DT, before I pass it to you, last week was I was a little bit proud of myself. It was my first time that we had Cincinnati, right? So what are they known for? Cincinnati, the chili. I was like, you know what? I could do chili. I could figure this out. So, I'm looking at a couple YouTube videos. The ingredients are nothing crazy. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make some chili for the babies, and I'm going to do it right. So I did it right, man. I got all of the ingredients. I got everything that I needed, and I cooked it on Saturday, because they said if, the longer that stuff gets a chance to sit and cook together and all those flavors meld together, that it just makes it even better. We dipped into it on Saturday as well, but we had it all, man. We had all the fixes. I had the cornbread, I had the sour cream, I had the cheese, on top. It was really good. The kids tore it up. They ate it. Ivy was even eating it. She liked the cornbread the most, because I got some of this honey cornbread, and she must have thought it was like cake. You know what I mean? So she was tearing that up, but she ate the chili too. And we had a great time. So I was here at the crib with the Kings, and we had a great time, and we watched the game, and fresh chili, man. Like, it was really good too. I think I did a good job. I had the tomatoes in there and all the tomato paste. I had everything that it said to put in there. I had it in there, man. And that thing roasted on Saturday night and really got melded together. And it was great Saturday when we tasted it, and Sunday was even better. So we enjoyed it.
Smell that. I can smell that from here, Rob. That sounds great, man.
Yeah. Now this week, before I pass it to you, this week, I'm sticking with these themes, man, of the opponent. What is
okay?
So what
I like that.
What's New England known for? And those fuckers up there in Boston. Well, clam chowder, yeah, but I'm not doing a soup. I was like, well, what else are they known for? Oh, they've got lobsters, so we're gonna do some lobster tails. I'm gonna bread some lobster tails. I'm gonna fry them up, some breaded lobster tails, and some fries. Man, just keep it simple with a nice easy side, so I don't have to do too much cooking. But I got the lobster tails the other day. I'm gonna thaw them in some cold water on Sunday morning, get them ready to go, and then I'm going to bread them. I know exactly what I want to do for breading them and fry them up, and nothing like some good fried lobster tails. If you've never had them before, DT, they are They are delicious. So we're keeping with the themes. I'm just going to keep with the theme of the opponent throughout the rest of the season, and hopefully that brings us some good mojo, man. So some fried lobster tails on Sunday are on the menu, man, and I can't wait because I got some juicy ones. They look like they'll be good.
What's Cleveland next week? Bush Light?
I haven't thought about Cleveland enough. Maybe some garbage plates I'll have to look on and see what Cleveland is famous for.
Dog food. Yeah. But no, that's awesome, Rob. That sounds great. I gotta up my game and get domesticated on that type of level. My tailgate reports have been pretty lackluster the past few weeks. I'd say very low key, which is fine. You know, we as we get older, we don't need a crazy game day every week. But that food, man, wow, that sounds top notch. So last week was down in the home digs.
I think they're gonna hit.
Yep. Yeah, that's gonna be that sounds awesome. And the chili, you know, like I said, some smell from here. Lobster tail sounds great. 2 back-to-back great ones. Can't wait to see, you know, how that is. But was down in the home digs last week, you know, with my crew, the trike Kai and Paige. I'm you know, married this year and I've been with them ever since. You know, haven't gave them any space, and grateful for their hospitality. Came down, went to the Christmas parade down here in the home Panama City, Jamestown area. And Rob, let me tell you, shout out to the city of Jamestown. This parade, 10 out of 10, top notch. Everywhere you can look at it. It's a beautiful thing.
What was good about it? The floats, everything was
the
just
street.
cool?
It just
Like,
there was just that
everything?
glisten of snow down. The snow was down. The lights, the trees were all lit up down the street. Everyone was in there. You know, festive cheer. We had a DJ I've never had a parade DJ up on the roof, like with a microphone with the music. You know, Christmas music going, and then him announcing every float that went by. You know, what they were and everything like that. And the parade itself went on probably an hour and a half. Strong floats everywhere, great decor. The big rig parade, Rob. There was like 3 semis, huge trucks, huge trailers with these massive floats. Christmas was in the air. It was magical. I cried a little bit. I had tears in my eyes, man. The Christmas spirit is for real. You know, I have a story that might get emotional. I won't say it this time. I'll save it for an episode closer to Christmas with my mom and me, and Christmas magical spirit, and you know how it just I love it. So it was great. That was the highlight of the weekend until the game by far. That was awesome, man. It was awesome. So had a good time there. Was rushing back last week. We did our game day episode. Kind of did the episode right from the road, and then hauled ass, got to the batch pad 3:30 right at 1:00. Went solo dolo for the game. Watched the first half in living room senior. Swapped it up. Moved red zone to living room senior. Went into living room junior for the second half.
It up a little bit,
and locked in. And we did, baby. We did. Came out of the half, scored, and you know, 2 big turnovers late, and that was the game day. So low key for me. Nothing crazy on the spread. I got to get my game up in the food spread. But City Jamestown Christmas parade, extravagant. 10 out of 10.
Top notch. Look at that, man. I appreciate that, man. That's really cool. You and I are yin and yang. There we go. Another way that we're close buddies, but we're yin and yang. I'm the Grinch. Well, if you got the Grinch, then you need somebody that loves Christmas. I like that. I like that a lot. Listen, I mean, down here, man, we are, you know, we're in it. I got a tree up. I mean, I got a 1-year-old. So, you know what I mean? So I turned on the tree the other day, and she got here in the morning. The lights weren't even on, and she goes, whoa, when she saw the tree or whatever. So then we lit it up, and whoa, and that's her big thing is, wow, whoa. So she likes it. She did way better than I thought. Princess Ivy has not messed with the ornaments. She hasn't tried to yank it down or anything like that. I was like, I've got a good baby. So she likes to look at it. She likes the lights on and stuff like that. So I'm the Grinch is coming around. I mean, what do they say? The Grinch's heart was 3 sizes too small. It's growing a little bit. Ivy's getting me back in it a little bit as well. And obviously Quincy really enjoys Christmas. He's excited. The older boys, you know how that goes when they get older. So they're playing along, playing their role as good big brothers. So it's cool, man, down here, man. I got a tree up. I'm not total Grinch. I don't have coal in my stockings or anything like that, but you know, no lights on the house, none of that shit. I'm not doing all that extra shit, but I mean, literally the lady across the street details crazy. A couple of weeks ago, we're walking, we got to go outside, and we're going for a walk, and the lady is on her roof, literally on her roof, horizontal, putting stuff up like Clark Griswold. And I was looking at her, I'm like, Ivy, look at that lady. I was like, look at that. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And she's putting lights up, and it was just so funny because I could not be more opposite. But I'm not hating on you. I'm happy that you enjoyed that parade. We went to a parade last week as well down here in Cornelius for a quick minute. It was so damn cold out, so we didn't stay too long, but we were out there for a little bit catching the floats and stuff. But you're absolutely right. Christmas is popular. We will still be back at you guys next week for Christmas week. What do we got, DT? I think we've got the next game is on the 21st, so we've got some room to fit you guys in. Yeah, we got room.
Oh yeah,
so
we got regular next week. Yep.
You know. Yeah, we're regular next week, and then obviously that following week is Christmas week, and we'll figure out the best way to do it because I know everybody's going to be enjoying their families. Maybe a Friday after Christmas episode. We can do a whole recap of how everything went. We'll figure it out for sure and keep you guys informed. Shout out, listen, the chat, DT. I know you can't see my Facebook, but shout out, man. You guys are just crazy, man. I love it. I love Lou. I love you, Paulette, out there. Paulette told me to send her some lobster tails. I don't know how they're going to taste, but I'm going to find a way to FedEx them. Yeah. So shout out to Paulette. I appreciate you, Zach. Robbie out there, man. We appreciate you guys. Instagram, same thing. Noah, we appreciate you guys.
Shout out Noah. While we're on it, we did breaking news with Josh Allen announcing pregnancy. Shout out Noah, our listener from day one. Great friend of the program. Noah, blessings to their third child today or late last night. Flynn Rouge.
She's here in the building. She's in the building.
In the building. He's in there. Johnny Flynn Rouge.
Congratulations. Look at that, man. Congratulations, Noah, and to your lovely bride, man. I mean, listen, we appreciate it. I see you, Tom, out there, man, in Instagram. I see you, Alicia. We appreciate your support. We appreciate everybody, man. Listen, this is holiday time. You guys can do anything on a TGI or Friday. We appreciate your support. We love Nickel City Crew. It's funny, DT, because I told you I had some engagement with some people on Twitter that told me that they love the show and that they were going to be listening from here on out. And I told you about my boy from kindergarten who I reconnected with on FaceTime. Shout out to Nick Del Novo. And I was like, man, that's just crazy how things just happen. So man, I really appreciate the audience, DT, as much as anything. Like it really gives life to me. Shout out to Sierra, who says she listens and stuff like that. We just appreciate you guys because of the fact that all I was ever doing with this was talking to myself about the Bills, and I'm like, I might as well just get my thoughts out there into the ether and just start saying it. And then DT came on. I'm like, DT, I need help. I need a guest on. And he came on and he kept coming back on. And I'm like, fuck this. You just need to be just be my co-host. We both studied broadcasting and journalism in college. Like, just come on, be my co-host. And literally, DT, we're closing down on season 5. Can you believe it, my brother? We are closing down on season 5. It's sometimes it boggles my mind sometimes.
Yeah, from the first days of the drought and meeting in that tailgate lot to now, Rob, we've come a long way, and I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of you, and it's been a blast. So shout out to everybody. I hope everyone's having a great holiday season, and appreciate the support. And it's awesome. I watched a video the other day. It was 59 minutes of Josh Allen highlights, and it was his highlights from rookie year all the way up. And I was trying to follow the games of like, oh yeah, that was this season. Oh yeah, and it was like, damn. Okay, it was 7 years ago. Oh, damn. Okay, like this is season 5 of Nickel City Crew. Like it goes back a little bit and it goes fast, and can never take it for granted. Cherish every moment. And this is awesome, therapeutic. We have become great longtime best friends now because of this. So love it all. Love the fans, and love the Bills, baby.
And we'll tell the story. We'll tell the story quickly before we get out of here, because for the new listeners and stuff like that who don't know how this guy's in Charlotte, this guy's in Buffalo, how do they even link up? Listen, I was in Buffalo. I've been a season ticket holder since 2009. I've been down here in Charlotte since 2006. And 2009, I couldn't stand it anymore. It was the Bills' 50th anniversary season, and TO, and they had the all of the best Buffalo Bills on BuffaloBills.com. You could go on and you can click running back, and it's Thurman and it's OJ. You click quarterback, it's Jim Kelly and Ferguson and Jack Kemp, and you could vote for all of the different players. And I was just like, man, I can't stand this shit anymore. So I I talked to my ex-wife. She was my wife at the time. And I'm like, listen, man, I'm thinking about getting these season tickets. The Bills were the number 2 cheapest season tickets in the league. Besides that garbage food that they serve in Cleveland, they were the only season tickets that were cheaper than ours. So I grabbed 2 season tickets, and we just looked at it like you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We'll go up, we'll take the baby, we'll go up to Buffalo. You can see your family, and then I can go see my Bills. And it kind of worked out. I've been a season ticket holder since 2009. Downtown with my cousin Greg, on Allen Street, which you can't make that shit up. I'm crossing Delaware, and DT's right next to me, and we didn't know each other. We weren't rolling together or anything like that. We walk across the street, saying a few words, about the Bills. Hey, what do you think? This and that. Oh, man, yeah, this, that. Well, we split ways. DT goes to a bar. I go to a separate bar. I come in eventually to DT's bar. I see him. Like, oh, what's up, man? What's up? Let's get a shot. Start drinking. Okay, no problem. Had a great night. Did not exchange numbers, Nickel City crew. Did not say, oh, man, look, let me get you, none of that shit. None of the, oh, grab your phone, give me your contact information. None of that shit. Were just 2 drinking buddies having a good time, random guys that met for the first time. Get to the tailgate the next morning. DT always talks about he takes that deep breath. I always say there's no place else I'd rather be. Marv Levy, exactly right. There's no place else I'd rather be on a Sunday than at the Ralph. Get to the tailgate spot, take that deep breath. I look over, and it's fucking DT. I'm like, what are the chances? You all know Bills Mafia. You know how many different tailgate lots. You got Prohibition. You got all these different places you can go to. You can go to Big Tree. How are we in the same exact grass lots the night after we had a drinking escapade and had a great time? We traded numbers after that, and we have been friends literally. I think, DT, that was early on. That was like 2010 or something like that. That was early on.
Not 10, but kind of at least 10 years ago.
It was like 11 or 11, 12. I can't remember the year,
it was
but we've been rolling for a minute.
It's been a decade at least. Yep, for sure. At least.
Yeah, man, it was wild, man. So DT has been my brother from another Bills mother, man, from the beginning. And that story, I love telling it because for the new listeners, because literally you would have never pegged us together. We were not rolling in the same crew. And that's just how Bills Mafia means family. It brings people together. And I literally just asked this random guy with me walking across Delaware on Allen Street, what do you think about the Bills? And all of a sudden, yeah, a decade-long friendship when I wouldn't trade DT for the world, man. That's my dog, man. So I appreciate it, man. Listen, out there, Nickel City crew, enjoy the game. Fuck the Patriots. Like, I can't stand their snobby asses. Like, I just can't stand them. All of you guys out there, enjoy the game. Be safe out there with all the shopping and stuff like that. I know that part of the reason I don't like the Christmas season, everybody just gets in a tizzy and stuff. Take your time, slow down. It's all good. Let's not get into accidents and fight over parking spots, stuff like that. Keep your ass at home and order online if you can't stand all the hustle bustle, but have fun out there this week. Please, out there, spread love, not hate. These were my Bills thoughts said out loud. Hit them with a go Bills, DT. I feel good. I'll leave this.
I do too. I'll leave it. Eat a little bit of their own medicine. When we were 4-0, were the Patriots fans scared of JP Lossman? When we were 4-0, were the Patriots fans scared of Kyle Orton? When we were 4-0, were the Patriots. So just because the Patriots having a nice year, don't mean Josh Allen and the boys are ever scared of them, and I'm sure in hell is not either. So let's go. Go Bills. 10-4. Get the 10th win of the year. Big one for the Psyche. Big one for seeding. Big one for my over-under win total bet. It's got to happen.
I love it. Go Bills.